What's good, y'all? My name is Heno, and this is Coffee. Shout out to Cicero and Wax Roof. The only reason they call me, for real, hey, look. Loose lips get you killed in these streets. Get rid of used to be too ill to your teeth round. Wild niggas, but I'm chillin' in peace. What I pay for it, got a couple bills and receipts. I done took me some else, some I didn't expect. Bounce back, count racks like it isn't a sweat. Humble with hundreds of several, but don't need them attack, rather sit in the vest. Don't come back if you burning bridges. You don't say flame, just a burning spliff, and just learn from it all in this work of business. No need for concern on how I earn a living. I don't tell her what I do, cause I'm allergic to snitches. Revenge ain't worth for killing, no return from prison. If your work is bringing up in a skirt up the first with a certain vision, where I'm immersed in riches. To the dirt I rehearsed, I visit. Knocking on wood that I'm still alive. They killed my cousin Skinny for a zip. That the stick don't make no sense. I was like, how the hell I would survive? Hey, in this jungle that birthed me. It's a struggle, you heard me. Reason I hustle, but don't say a word. See my budget, it comes with attorneys that smirky. And the only reason they call me is to ask for some cream for their coffee. What I have seen is appalling, but I've been no evil that haunts me. I try to be the best that I can be, and they salty. Peep out they skin with they posse. Cause seeing's believing is chalk street. The only reason they call me is to add for some cream for their coffee. Yeah. So the only reason they call me is to add for some cream for their coffee. What I have seen is appalling, but I've been no evil that haunts me. I've been no evil that haunts me. Say, hey, yeah. The only reason they call me is to ask for some cream for their coffee. Man. But I've been no evil that haunts me. I've been no evil that haunts me. Hey, we back. Yes, sir.
What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Ariel Nari. Guess who I'm here with today? I have a very special guest. It is the alternative soul artist and producer, Heno. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Blessed,
Good.
It's a lot of day. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We here, we thriving. It's a good day.
We on real Mumbo,
It's a good day.
It's a good day.
Alrighty, so you describe your sound as alternative soul. What
Yeah.
does that mean to you?
I just grew up on a lot of different music. Like my dad taught me, or like put me on the Motown and soul music. That meshed with alternative music I was listening to, hip hop, R&B, jazz, Ethiopian jazz at that. And it kind of just meshed all these different genres and wanted to brand it as something I was doing. So alternative soul kind of just came to mind and I was like, this is cool. But very much not like a box because I do other shit too. So
Right.
yeah.
I feel that. I saw that you're a self-taught producer and engineer. How did you even start? Like, where do you even begin to teach yourself that?
Well, I feel like music, just being a fan and like a person that was listening to music so much at a young age that I didn't realize that just my consumption of it was low key like music theory. Like I was listening to like 90s R&B and would be like, that's a chorus, this is a verse, this is the outro, the intro. Like started from just, but like writing this down as a child and like,
Oh, wow.
but being, I'm a first generation Ethiopian Eritrean, so like parents usually want to steer you into the direction of being a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, like nothing like creative, so that's why everything was self-taught. I didn't have the privilege of taking lessons. I had to teach myself. like from listening to music to then creative writing, poetry, battle rap, then that turned into like writing verses and songs, and then production came from just working with a lot of producers. But then my pen was getting so I was writing so much I couldn't keep up with the beats that I was able, that I was working with producers. I was like, I need more beats. So I was like, I need to just learn how to make beats because I also couldn't afford to just keep buying a bunch of beats. So taught myself how to make beats, and sometimes at certain points I couldn't always record recording like going to studios, so I had
Yeah.
to learn how to record myself. I think that like I take all that on because I think it's important to be able to wear multiple hats so that when you're in those rooms with whomever, you can communicate those languages to whom you're working with. So if you know how to make beats, when you meet a producer that really knows what they're doing, you can be like, I want it like this, or you have that language. But yeah, grateful that not having the privilege to do those things really pushed me to like really put my 10,000 hours and all that. So
I get it. I get
yeah,
it. What, in your opinion, is the key to producing your own music?
I think knowledge itself. I think like knowing what you like, knowing what you don't like, and trusting that. Um, like I could never really describe the type of music I wanted to make to people until I started just making a bunch of bad beats. And then you make enough bad beats, you start making okay beats, and you make enough okay beats, start making good beats, and like
Yeah.
you can't buy your way through that. You have to really put that time in. So like once I understood through making a lot of bad beats, like what I liked from beats, or even listening to music I enjoy, and being like, what do I like about this song? Like, what do I like about is it these chords? Like, what is it the feel? Is it the intent? Like, what? And then once you kind of put that all together over time and figure it out through trial and error, but you gotta love the process too. I feel like
Ooh,
you can't just like
so
do some
important.
shit just to do it. Like if you love the process truly, then you'll sit there for 8 hours, work on something, and then go, you know what? I don't even like this. But it takes that time sometimes to be like, yo, like I had to put in hella hours to realize this was not the direction. But then you put 15 minutes into something else, and then it's amazing, and you're like, whoa, like I had to do all this trash to just,
Falling in love with the process is like a major key for anything in life, I feel
yeah,
like.
for real.
So it's funny you say that.
Because you're gonna stress about life. You're gonna stress about anything in life. You might as well be stressed about shit you actually like, enjoy, and things you love. You know what I mean? So
Right, right,
something
right.
you love the process in.
I
Like,
feel it. All
but
right.
that's me though. But
Okay. So oh my gosh. You could just name a few of them for the kind folks at home.
name? Oh man, you got me.
Oh, is this too much?
No, I feel like that's like an LA question. I guess.
My bad.
No, you're good. No, not you. Yeah, I don't know. I've been fortunate to work with people like Mick Jenkins or like JPEG Mafia. Work with people like Chaz or Toro. Meanwhile, have done a lot from like touring and opening for artists like J Electronica, Injury Reserve, man, Maxo Cream, 03 Greedo.
Wow.
So
You be out here.
yeah.
What collaboration has meant the most to you?
I would say an album that I worked on that came out last year was called Death Ain't That Bad, 2020. Oh, 2021 now, because
Oh,
we just
it's a
made it
new
to the
year, right?
But I made that with a guy named Tony Ferraro who plays in Toronto, but also is his own instrumentalist and artist and DJ. And that whole album was made in a space where I had to kind of find myself again as an artist, and I was grieving a lot of loss. And that whole project I needed to put out to kind of heal through a lot of trauma I was dealing with, and just that whole body of work is something that like I had to just make for myself, but also wanted to open a conversation. I like making music that like starts conversations, uncomfortable ones at that, and like find comfort in things that are uncomfortable. So like whether it's death, whether it's like real shit that we go through, you know, that type of shit. So I would say that would be the most important thing,
Yeah.
at least as far as like what I needed to do for myself. That resonates just because a lot of healing in that for me. So.
And it's so funny that you actually mentioned Death Ain't That Bad, because that was my next question.
Oh, word.
And so I just feel like there's a stigma around mental health, especially with Black people, especially with Black men. So I just wanted to use this opportunity to create the space for us to talk about it, you know?
Sure.
So how, you said that was a very traumatic time for you. How were you managing your mental health during that time?
I wasn't.
Oh.
That's, you know, and that's what, you know, it I would say that recognizing that I wasn't made me realize I need to more and be more intentional about that. So like every record on that project was like, there was a deep conversation that was started with the collaborators, anyone that like was in the rooms, just listen, like everything was always, anything I make with anybody, it's always like, all right, we gotta have a real conversation and see what we're doing, like why are we doing this, like, and just those conversations were so fruitful and insightful and important in understanding and processing, because everybody processes death and grief and all these things and loss differently. So, you know, my method used to be like suppressing and internalizing, which is super unhealthy.
Right, don't do it.
But being in a space to release and to like let things out and to speak on things allowed me to find a lot of comfort in something that I think that is generally taboo and uncomfortable, but also being Ethiopian and like not really subscribing to a lot of Western philosophy, I kind of noticed that a lot of other cultures look at death as the celebration of like one's life, honoring someone's legacy, rather than the mourning of a loss, right? I think that when we talk about words and how we look at things and our perception, you can't control what's outside. You can't control life, but you can control how you look and view things. You can control how you understand, and you can control like, and I think that those things are very powerful. So like, being able to look at something negative and doesn't mean you have to have a negative relationship with it. And I think that when you can kind of do that, and that's easier said than done, you know, but over time it becomes something that like just I'm a logic person, so like that just made sense over time. So
You Earth gang.
Yeah.
I just learned.
Taurus.
I'm a Virgo, so I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so you have a song called Existential Crisis. Have you ever had one? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did that go?
It was what caused me to move to California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember sitting at work. This was my junior year at Howard. I was working 2 jobs while at Howard, and I remember working at one of my jobs, and I was with my homie, and I just had a fuck it moment. You ever have one of those that you're just like...
This is why we're here. This is how Real Mumbo got started, y'all.
I was like, you know what? I just had to look around at the store, and I was like...
This ain't it.
No. And I like bought a one-way ticket on the spot.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit, I guess I am. Like, it was a super manic time, but like, it was a decision that like I'm very grateful I made, because, you know, some people would tell you you're crazy just because you have this certain, it's like, you only know so much that I've told you. You don't see what I be doing when I'm by myself. You don't see the hours and the time and the energy and the seriousness I have. So
right.
Also, I'm the type of person as a Taurus, if you tell me I'm not going to do something, it's like, word?
Okay.
Oh, man. I'm going to turn up, watch this. Like, hold my beer. Like, but not like, those things kind of like, you know, yeah, played a role in like me leaving, and it's turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. So.
I mean, I'm not happy you had the existential crisis, but that's what's up.
I kind of am though, because like everything happens as it's supposed to. You know, I ain't like it at the time, but it's something I can look back and appreciate.
Always gotta trust divine timing.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know. That's just my perspective on it, at least.
I feel it. All right, you ready to play a game?
You got a smile on your face.
I always smile. That's my natural state. Okay.
All right, yeah, I'm down. I'm down for it.
Okay, so this is called underrated or overrated.
Okay.
And basically, all that Heno has to do is say if the topic I say is overrated or underrated.
Cool.
All right. First, Neighbors.
When you say neighbors, you mean
Just neighbors,
like people?
not your song. It's a play on the song. 'Cause, you know,
I
I'm
was
trying to
like,
be cute,
yeah.
but regular neighbors.
Neighbors are as a concept, right?
As a concept, we're not getting into specifics.
As a neighbors, I feel like neighbors are overrated.
Why?
I feel like I love community and I love people, but sometimes I like to be secluded and like have my space to be like, okay, like I want to be as loud as I want. I want to be in my, unless people are cool with that, then I'm like, great, be my neighbor. But like, I like to work on music late at night, and, I like to do certain things. So it's just, I could do without. I could live on like like land and just have my own space. That's kind of what I see for myself.
I get it. I think neighbors are underrated though, but again, it gotta be cool neighbors, like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
because like growing up.
I've been in some J. Cole situations,
Oh no.
I'll keep it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, neighbors be clutch. Sometimes they bring you food.
Sometimes
like,
that depends on where you at though. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like if I lived in Atlanta, I feel like neighbors would be fire because I feel like Southern hospitality is so real.
Yeah, it's
out there.
real.
But like if I got neighbors in New York, it's like everybody just like super close and it's congested. I'm like I need space. Like I don't know.
I get it. All right, next, Jansport.
You're just doing these plays.
You know, you see what I'm doing.
I do see. I think Jansport is underrated.
Yes.
I think Jansport as a bag, as a company, they've held it down. So
Because I've had my Jansport since like kindergarten.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
never broke on me nothing.
held it down.
Yes.
I've had a few in my day.
All right, last introspection.
Okay. You're really doing this right now.
I am. I'm committed.
Underrated. Absolutely. Like
Yes.
I had to think about it. Yeah, introspect is absolutely underrated. Like it could never be overrated.
Hello.
Like know yourself, please.
Because I feel like that would solve a lot of the problems in the world. Yes.
Some people aren't doing the work for them, like, and it's easier said than done too. Like, also people like I don't know. I like stillness. Like I move around a lot. I travel a lot, so sometimes when I'm just still doing nothing, and I can really think. I love that shit because you get clarity. You can figure out what your next move can always be your best move when you are in those moments. So
I agree. All right. So I see you're in tech. I'm just going to say it. What is an NFT?
Oh my God. An NFT.
He said, oh my God.
A non-fungible token. I feel like people, when they look at NFTs or hear about NFTs, there's just all this like negative press and perception of what it is. But what it really is just a digital asset that you can make anything. You can turn anything, a song, you can make like, a movie clip, like any content you think of. And it's about just ownership and IPs and stuff. Like, in terms of whatever you choose to make an NFT, right? I think when you think of like, I don't know, Instagram, you post something on Instagram, you can post a video clip. You don't own that clip, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Web 2 is traditionally, like the ability to like have content, make stuff, share, but like there's no ownership. Like you sign that away when you do those agreements and whatever and skip through all that versus like platforms where you can actually own your IP and you can actually monetize and like learn how to use blockchain technology to make a living or to do other things creatively. So yeah, NFTs is a long-winded answer. I don't want to, but essentially, NFT is a digital asset that think of it like, I don't know, a collectible item that you have for an artist. Like you have merch bundles, you have, you know what I mean? It's something similar to that. And you can make it whatever you want and in different types of mediums. And yeah, it's pretty dope.
All right. And you touched on this briefly with like Web 2, but what is Web 3?
Web 3 is a decentralized version of the internet that we know it to be. So like Web 2 is known as like what you go on Google Chrome or Safari, like you're able to read, you're able to share information, you're able to, but Web3 is more again of a decentralized version of the internet where it's less regulated, but also is a lot of transparency with like blockchain technology. Like you can see everything that happens, whether it's transactions, whether it's, when you do business with people, you have like smart contracts where you can see everything. Like everything's supposed to be for transparency's sake. And I think that it's also I don't say an ideology, but it's like people who are in Web3 generally understand that like most of the like systems we know to be are like not only outdated but kind of trash. Like you think of banking, you think of like putting your money in the bank and you have to bail out all these banks, but like, or think about, I don't know, content and wanting to make sure that people aren't just stealing our intellectual property. And a lot of people are also dealing with red tape in their respective industries, whether it's music, whether it's like film industry, whether it's like dance, whether it's photography. People have kind of met in this space, and you can kind of build community in a real organic way where like, I don't know, I don't need Instagram to reach followers. I can go direct to consumer rather than like going through a third party.
Okay.
And I think that that's what people really want, is that direct connection between whatever you like, whether it's an artist, whether it's like you want to be able to imagine if you like, I don't know, like The Weeknd when he first came out with House of Balloons. Like imagine there was a way you could be like, I was there, like I had this, like, and can show that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that and have that direct relationship, like that's what this type of technology allows, and it's bigger than just NFTs. Like it's like a whole world of like wanting to have real connections and build community with people beyond just like a surface level.
That was a great explanation.
It's a lot I just said, so
Black men in tech, y'all. Black men in tech. Alrighty, so what's next for Heno?
oh man, there's so much stuff. We got a short film coming out to coincide this EP, Q1. Dropping an album later this year as well, called I'm Tired of Being Hyper Surveilled.
Wait, is there sh in it too?
No.
Oh.
I don't even know why I should. I just said the title, right? But yeah, like that's slated, and yeah, a lot of music this year, really. But also a lot of collaboration. Got a lot of shows this year.
Yeah.
Traveling a lot, and yeah. So I would stay tapped in for sure.
Oh, we'll be tapped in. All right. So for the people that want to tap in, where can we catch you on the internet?
Word. On socials, my name is Heno. Literally just my name is Heno. And on all streaming platforms, just type in Heno with a period, Heno, period. Don't forget the period, it's important.
Don't forget the period.
You don't want to do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for pulling up on me today. I really appreciate it. Do you have anything else to say?
Man, I mean, shout out to you for making space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and putting on for people in the DMV. I feel like sometimes people forget that I'm from the DMV just because I be in LA or I be wherever.
Yeah.
And I very much am from Tacoma Park, Maryland. My grandma in Largo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lived in
He here
Northeast.
for real.
I got my polo boots on. I got my New Balances in the car. Don't play with me, please. I get Mumbo sauce shipped to LA also. Like, this is no cap. This is a real thing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, appreciate you. And yeah, just tap in.
All right. That's it for us. Real Mumbo, Heno. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.